Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Houston Fieldhouse for this afternoon's women's hockey game between the Nittany Lions of Penn State and the Engineers of RPI. Let's meet the starters for both clubs. First, for Penn State, off forward from Eagan, Minnesota, number 5, junior Brooke Madsen. Off forward from Minnetonka, Minnesota, number 16, junior Katie McMillan. Off forward from Fargo, North Dakota, number 21, freshman Anna Rummersberger. A defenseman from Minnetonka, Minnesota, number 7, senior captain Kelsey Crow. A defenseman from Rochester, New York, number 13, freshman Renee Gangarosa. In goal today for the Nittany Lions from Eagan, Minnesota, number 35, junior Jenna Brenneman. And the rest of the Nittany Lions of Penn State. The head coach of Penn State in his second season is Jeff Compersall. The assistant coaches are Allison Kuby and Celeste Brown. Now, introducing the starters for your RPI Engineers. Off forward from Burlington, Ontario, number 12, sophomore Amy Rigby. Off forward from Anchorage, Alaska, number 23, senior Taylor Schwalbe. Off forward from Lyngby, Denmark, number 27, freshman Lily Fries Hansen. A defenseman from Copenhagen, Denmark, number 9, and senior Josephine Hansen. A defenseman from Lake Forest, Illinois, number 14, freshman Delaney Weiss. In goal today for the Engineers from Sollentuna, Sweden, number 35, co-captain senior Lovisa Salander, and the rest of the RPI Engineers. The head coach of the Engineers in his second season is Brian Vines. The assistants are Mark Cavosi and Tara Connolly. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor and respect our country and the men and women who have served and continue to serve America, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthems of Canada and the United States by the RPI Pep Band.
We are underway at the Houston Fieldhouse, RPI and Penn State. The Nittany Lions winning yesterday by a 4-0 score. And once again, it is Lavisa Salander in net for RPI and Jenna Brenneman for the Nittany Lions. Puck behind the RPI goal. And it's Shane Nelson on it. Back to the point, a shot that hits a skate. And it will be cleared out ice, down ice. Grigsby on for Blake Oros. Oros walking her way in, takes a shot that goes wide. Back to the point. Hayes into a skate that caught Kelsey Crow. Allows the Nittany Lions to not only clear the zone but get a line change, although they might be coming back here. This is icing on Penn State. We'll see when they determine those players were off the ice, whether or not they're going to call them back. Looks like they were able to make the line change, so. Hayes off for Schwalbe. Off the face-off win for the Engineers, trying to turn it into something. Well, Penn State's going to take over. Crow stolen away by Fries Hansen. A shot over the top there from Schwalbe. An early chance. Taylor Schwalbe looking for her first goal of the year. And caught that one pretty well with the wrister. Just missed high. RPI football picking up a big win. If you're watching that one right here on RPI TV, we have a good double header for you. Actually, a triple header. RPI club hockey coming up at 7 o'clock. You can be a couch potato all Saturday if you want. Watch a couple of hockey games and a football game. But football picking up a big win over Huston today. First NCAA tournament win for the Engineers since 2003. Capel through center. That's swatted down. Gathered up here. This is Christy Vetter. Into the zone. McLeod around the goal. Another forward is dressed here for Penn State. I'll tell you who that is. It's Brooke Madsen, who was out of the lineup yesterday, but has pretty good numbers coming in. 3 goals in 12 games. 45 points in 83 games. You average a little over half a point a game. Is not bad at the collegiate level. But I'm sure Penn State happy to have her back in. Another forward dressing 11 are the Nittany Lions. There's a good play by Hansen to separate the puck from Heising. Oros finds it across the red line and dumps it in. 5 minutes into the first period, RPI and Penn State. Engineers looking for a better start overall, but also from their senior netminder, Lavisa Salander, who was not on her game yesterday. Here's Weiss, chipped up the wall. Spinning out of the corner, Abby Welsh. And now down ice, Solander's going to cover this. Nice shielding by Hansen on Sophie Slattery. 4 Nittany Lions had multiple points yesterday. Crow a goal and assist, Welsh 2 assists, Slattery a goal and assist, Heising a goal and assist, and then Izzy Heminger, the defenseman, with a big day, 1 goal and 2 assists. In the 4-0 win. Heising, good connection through center. Lowly Fiddler will dump it in. Nelson, her pass pops in the air off the stick of Severson. And Heminger gives it off for Gangarosa. Centering, a shot right on and a save by Solander. Good chance there. Face off here, out of the timeout. Brooke Madsen, junior from Eagan, Minnesota, and an Eagan High School grad. Chopped away by McMillan. Here's Hayes. Lifts it near side for Grigsby into the zone. She'll fire it on goal. Brenneman makes a save, kind of left at the side of the net, but gets help. Heminger good, cross-ice feed for McMillan into the zone. She'll take a shot that's gloved by Solander, and she'll hold on there.
St. Penn's Slide Derby is proud to be the sponsor of today's Chuck-a-Puck promotion. Don't forget to purchase your puck before the end of the first period to participate in the Slide Dirty Chuck-a-Puck competition. Slide Derby is proud to support RPI athletics. Chuck-a-Puck between periods 2 and 3.
Broken up there, sent forward, Wraithby. Turned right back around by Slattery. And that one jammed, it's in the net. A goal for Penn State. I won't wonder if this is going to be reviewed. They're just jamming away at Solander. Welsh is going to claim it. No, not going to look at it. 1-0 Penn State. Going to be flipped deep. Hansen to ring it around. Now it's intercepted by Severson. Severson trying to walk her way in. Chopped away by Crow. Actually, Slattery's goal.
Goal is unassisted. Time of the goal, 7 minutes, 21 seconds. Penn State goal scored by number 17, Sophie Slattery. Unassisted.
And now a good look-ahead pass here for Grigsby. Her shot is blocked. Now Grigsby gets rubbed against the wall by Ridland. Or make it to Heminger, rather. Out to center ice. Burnett going to grab it there. Heminger again. Waits for a teammate to touch up and takes a shot and a shoulder save by Solander. Played behind. Here's Hayes. Gloved, and did they keep the line? Linesman said yes. Always tough on those aerial pucks, but they say yes, they did keep the zone. Doesn't matter much as RPI moves back the other way. Emma Hicks had it for a moment. Now Schwalbe, a couple of jams at the right side of the cage. And it's held onto eventually by Brenneman. Ten and a half to go in the first period. McMillan chipping it wide to the goal into the corner. Outlet pass looking for Hicks. That doesn't connect. Should be icing on RPI. We'll get a stoppage. 10-14 to go in the first.
Say fans, if you cannot make it to a home game, you can still watch it live on RPI TV. All RPI men's and women's hockey home games will be webcast. Visit www.rpiathletics.com for more information.
And that was Mayer all by herself trying to go in, but knocked away. Now Slattery. Back to the point, can't keep it. Gangarosa. Hayes over there. Junior out of Hartford, Vermont. Now trying to move it off the wall. A chance for numbers maybe, at least 2-on-2 for RPI. It's Severson with Capel. Waiting for reinforcements, and Severson will just lob it in. What a good play for Capel, who's in position there, though she gives it away, trying to find Oros. Gangarosa dumps in as Penn State's changing as well. Hansen will shoot it up the wing. Touch pass there, some room for Oros. Slot moving, takes a shot, it's sticked away. Official center ice is hollering from the move of the puck, and they eventually comply. Hansen hit a boot. Grigsby lobbing it. Now on comes Heising. A pass out in front of Nelson, but she's going to track it down anyway. Shane Nelson from Evanston, Illinois. Or make it Fiddler, rather, trying to jam it at the side of the cage, poked away, and now swept deep by Ridland. Fiddler lets it run. Now a redirect in front. And a good attempt there from Heising. Solander makes the save. Heising looking for her 8th goal. She picked up her 7th yesterday. And nearly had it there on the tip. Shots are 8-3 Penn State here. And now we get an icing again against RPI. Hasn't been the Engineers' weekend so far, but still time to turn it around. 7:45 to play in the first period. 1-0 Nittany Lions on top. And we have an icing here. Shot behind by Kendra Ferroli. Poked to center by Grigsby, on for Oros. Wrapping it down low. And now Promersberger. Hayes, stick handling, finds Wraithby. Wraithby lost in her skate, but does find it and get it deep. Fries Hansen on for Wraithby. Stolen away by Madsen. And now it'll be Welsh behind the goal. Near side Promersberger. Picked off by Wraithby, shoots it right back in. Lily Fries Hansen, the freshman out of Lyngby, Denmark, is knocked off the play, and now it's gathered up and skated out by Dobson. Dobson's going to shoot it down, but not enough on it for icing. It'll be gathered up by Weiss. Weiss to Hayes, or Hansen rather. And now through center, intercepted by Slattery, the goal scorer. Some debate whether it was Slattery or Welsh. Slattery took the initial shot. Welsh was poking at Solander, but the puck seemed as if it was already in the goal. Here's Heising. We'll take a look at the top-down angle between periods, get a definitive answer on who that Penn State goal belongs to. Under 6 to go in the first period. This one shot in. RPI will look to start the breakout here. Weiss fanned on it, lost it. Get some help from Hansen. Center ice, McMillan. Right back comes RPI Grigsby. She'll dump it in. Pressure from Rapace, and Tremblay steals it away, trying to center. Wraithby trying to keep it alive. And now it'll be covered up.
Officials, timeout.
And we get a stoppage here. 4:45 to go in the first. 1-0 Penn State.
Coffee that can be called Dunkin' coffee. Freshly ground and freshly brewed all day. Stop by Dunkin' for a smooth taste from first sip to last. Dunkin' coffee is brewed for you and made the way you expect. Dunkin', this is coffee.
Grigsby. Hansen takes a crack at it. Here's Oroz. She'll shoot it in. Under 4 to play in the first period. 1-0 Penn State. Unassisted goal for Sophie Slattery. Took a look and puck was in the net. Abby Welsh was taking a couple whacks at it, but it was already in. Center ice. Hayes, nice move. He throws it into the skates of Freese Hansen. Then Hayes gets dumped. Nelson into the zone, trying to center, goes through everybody. Fiddler and Burnett go into it, and it's the Engineers who come away. Schwalbe, senior out of Anchorage, Alaska. Adolfson juggles the puck at her own blue line, then shovels it off. Here's Heising. Heising into the zone, trying to walk around the defender. There was 4 Engineers in the vicinity, and the facility. There's more than 4 of those. But in the vicinity, there were 4. And they broke up the play. Puck shot in behind the goal. Good connection to Severson from Hansen, and now Capel. Tried to dump it in and was successful. Turning up ice is Madsen. Lifts it off the wall to herself. Gets pinched there by Hansen. And now Emma Hicks to center. 3-on-2 for the Engineers. Grigsby floats one in on goal. Brennan makes the save. Hicks looking for scraps. She's helped out of the crease area by Welsh. And we have a stoppage. Shots are 9-4 Penn State. Still no penalties in this one. Faceoffs 8-5 Nittany Lions. Burnett tried to play it back. It was a tough angle on the pass, and now looking to break back the other way. Mayer's shot and a sliding, diving poke check by Ferroli helped break that one up. Partial break there for the Nittany Lions. Now a shot by Crow hits a stick and goes wide. Hansen into the end wall. Puck comes free. Who wants it? Going to be Hayes. 50 seconds to go in the period. Hansen, senior from Copenhagen, Denmark, and assistant captain for these Engineers. Plays it ahead. Good touch pass there. And again, it's Grigsby to Oroz. Trying to carry in, but it's defended well by Adolfson. And now Rolf. On for Heising. Heising circles. Shot coming, and a pad save by Solander, and then Hayes does all she can to ward off Heising, who's trying to find the rebound there. This will be dumped in, and no ice here. Madsen to the point. Heminger looking for the redirect in front. Got it from McMillan, but it went wide. And now 4 seconds to go. Engineers just trying to get to the locker room here. There's your horn. 1-0 Penn State after 1. The lone goal belongs to Sophie Slattery, an unassisted tally at 7:22. This very reminiscent of game 1 here. First period goal around the same time for Penn State. We'll see if the Engineers have a better response this time around here on this Saturday afternoon. 1-0. Shots are 11-4. Penn State. We'll be back with the second period here on RPI TV.
Shots on goal, period 1. For Penn State, 11. For Rensselaer, 4. A reminder, fans, please stop by the Engineers Pride for free coffee, cider, and cider donuts, sponsored by RPI Women's Hockey and Rensselaer Dining Services. Thank you for your support. We hope you enjoy the Engineers Pride for the remainder of the RPI Women's Hockey season. Additional note, fans, don't forget to visit the official online store for Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute Athletics at rpifanshop.com. St. Anne's Ryan's Wake is proud to support RPI Athletics. Head to downtown Troy and check out their new pub kitchen. Ryan's Wake is located at 403 River Street. Boucher Financial Group has been serving their clients for over 27 years. With offices in historic downtown Troy and Saratoga Springs, they currently manage over $400 million in assets and act as their client's personal CFO for any financial decisions. Visit www.boucherfinancial.com to learn more about the firm.
Well, that puck right off the draw, shot into the Penn State bench. Jeff Campersall looks over, head coach, former Princeton coach, taking over this job here with the Nittany Lions. Nearly hit the assistant, though. That's Celeste Brown, nearly picked her off on the bench. Now, RPI looking to break out of its own end. And Schwalbe, if she can pick up some speed, maybe a chance for a 2-on-1 with Wraithby. Shot coming, it was blocked, and nothing comes of it. That opportunity there. Nearly made something happen. Wraithby was breaking to the far post. But as it is, it's Adolfson to center ice for Heising. Her shot has Landers stopped it, but kind of spilled the puck in the end. Now Rapace gave it away. Madsen behind the net. McMillan back to Madsen, looking for a centering feed. Finds a cutting Promersberger. But it's the Engineers breaking another chance for a 2-on-1. Shot coming over the top from Grigsby. That one will go out of play.
Ladies and gentlemen, RPI Women's Hockey would like
and we'll have a stoppage here.
Rensselaer Alumni Association, Nigro Companies, Patterson, Sampson, Ginsburg, and Griffin Law Firm.
Sophie Slattery with her second goal of the season. The only tally in this one. And now it's Lance trying to walk it to the net front. Got knocked away. And a sharp pass to the blue line. Promersberger and Hansen go into it, and it pops out of play. We'll have another face-off coming up. Draws are 10-7 Penn State. And they continue to lead in shots 12-4. Center ice. Mayer turns it over. Played behind by Severson. And now Hansen to the wall. Capel has to go back and get it, but does find Severson, who lifts it off the glass. This will be icing on the Engineers. RPI was trying to change, but they will not be able to.
Ladies and gentlemen, continuing with our thank yous of RPI hockey sponsors, the Hilton Garden Inn Troy, National Grid Foundation, the Desmond Hotel, Reifenberg Construction, the Recovery Sports Grill, E. Stewart Jones, Hacker and Murphy, Stanley Steamer, Storage Shops, BSN Sports, Gatherers Granola, Rensselaer Honda, Repeat Business Systems, and Wolf's Beer Garden in Troy. Thank you to our sponsors.
Ferroli. Engineers able to clear to center. Lance swatted in by Severson, and now RPI can get that change it was looking for. Around the net goes McLeod. She's bottled up there. Played down low. Poke check. Burnett left behind. Well, reading it well was Heisinger. He's going to get inside. Or Heminger, excuse me. Now a shot from the blue line. Mike Garosa is held onto by Solander. Still 1-0 Penn State. RPI shutout for the 4th time this year yesterday. Goal scoring has been the biggest issue for this Engineers team. And they had the best penalty kill in the country coming into the weekend at 96%, but it's down under 90% now after a 2-for-4 outing yesterday. Very easily could have been only just 1-for-4 killing penalties RPI, but the Nittany Lions scored 2 seconds after their 3rd power play expired yesterday. They would have been 3-for-3 at the time. Now Oro's trying to jam it in, and it's kept out at the far side of the net. Good opportunity there for the Engineers. Jamming away at Brenneman, who picked up her first Penn State shutout. She had one for Clarkson a couple years ago. Cross ice feed is to Dobson. It's actually last year Brenneman had a shutout. One of her 2 appearances for the Golden Knights, and her only start as that one's pried away. Engineers able to get it deep. Second period, 5 minutes old here at the Houston Fieldhouse in Troy, where the Nittany Lions are on top. Josephine Hansen stolen away by Mayer. Ferroli picks it up for RPI and shoots it in. Now Crow. A goal and assist yesterday. Her team leading 9th assist. She's tied with Natalie Heising for the Nittany Lions lead. Kendra Ferroli picks it up. Junior from Irvine, California. Finds Schwalbe. Now a chance for another 2-on-1 here for RPI. Wraithby ends up fanning on it. Crow went to a knee to block it up, and now a jam try in front, and it's covered by Brenneman.
Say fans, RPI Hockey would like to welcome High Five Sports and all the fans in attendance today. And we thank you for your support of RPI women's hockey. Let's go Red.
RPI generating chances now. Quick shot there right off the draw. And they're gonna get a timeout here.
Officials timeout.
Yeah, we are gonna get an officials timeout as the stoppage here. 13:57 to go in the second. 1-0 Penn State, but RPI knocking on the door.
Say fans, Wolf's Beer Garden is proud to support RPI and the community. Stop in for weekend specials on food and beverages. We'll see you after the game at 2 King Street, downtown Troy.
The teams are ready to go. We just need an official. We're waiting for the clock there to time that timeout. Now here's Oros around the net. Back towards the point, kept in by Hayes. Hayes will throw it towards the net, looking for the tip from Rapace, and ended up deadening the puck there. And chance for the Nittany Lions to try and clear. Adolphson got knocked down, kept in by Burnett. She'll take a wrister. That's blocked by Promersberger. But it looks like a completely different team out there right now for the Engineers. They're getting to a lot of pucks and keeping the play alive in the offensive zone. This is shot in by Burnett. Stopped up well there behind the goal by Brenneman, or else Lance would have had a crack at it on the other side. Now Madsen for the Nittany Lions. Center ice connection off for Adolphson, who loses it in her skates. Does eventually find McMillan, who chips it deep. Hansen. Bottled up by Madsen. Penalty coming up here. It's going to be on the Nittany Lions. And Slander can't get off for the extra attacker, but we will have a high stick called on Penn State. Power play for RPI, the Engineers first of the game. 12.1% on the season, 4 out of 33 for the Engineers. The penalty kill for the Nittany Lions is at 81.8%, 36 of 44 killed. Yesterday, RPI was over 3 on the power play.
Penn State penalty number 5, Brooke Madsen, 2 minutes for high sticking at 7-11.
Capel. And another penalty coming up here. Hansen.
State penalty number 13, Renee Gangaroso. 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 7 minutes. Penn State penalty number 13, Renee Gangaroso. 2 minutes for interference at 7:25.
Two-man advantage for RPI, and they shoot the puck down ice. About minute 19 on the 5-on-3 for the Engineers, and their best chance at breaking through against Brenneman here. Grigsby pops off her stick. That's knocked out of the air. It's going to be a puck played with a high stick, and that's unfortunate for the Engineers, as the draw is going to come, I believe, all the way down. It's a natural reaction there for Oros to reach up and touch that puck, but in the grand scheme of things, it allows the Engineers to kind of regroup here. So RPI almost trying to use it as a timeout, just to go over a couple things. And with a minute 3 left in the 5-on-3, while the faceoff is in the Engineers zone, they can go over a couple things. Now it's just going to be Adolphson to shoot it in, and RPI will break out here. 5-on-3 for another 54 seconds. Josephine Hansen picking up speed through the neutral zone. She'll drop it off there. And now Oros. Left for Capel. RPI sets things up. Hansen. Capel. Hansen. Down low. Trying to slap it on in front. And a chance for Grigsby. No. Rapace and a shoulder save made. Hansen. Thought about a slapper. Finds Capel. Capel back to Hansen. Wrist shot. Got blocked. Now back to Hansen again. 18 to go in the 5-on-3. Capel down low. Rapace waiting. Hansen. Her shot was blocked. 9 to go on the 5-on-3 power play. Oros. Capel. Hansen. Fanning on the one-timer was Rapace. Now breaking out of the zone. Here is Madsen. She's got a shorthanded breakaway. Madsen walking in. Saved by Solander. Big time stop there, keeping it 1-0, and both penalties are now over. Puck behind the goal. Rister tipped wide in front. That was Nelson who got a stick on it. Fed right back in by the Nittany Lions. Delaney Weiss over there. Shoots it behind. Good tie up by Burnett and on Heising, and now Rapace does her job. Flip to center, now Wraithby with Fries Hansen. Lost it, but the Engineers stay on side. And eventually played in deep. Trickling out of the zone. Hayes over to get it. Back for Ferroli. Ferroli to Severson. Lauren Severson gets as far as the half wall on the near side before it's played out. Heminger. Now Ferroli. Aaliyah Lance, little pep in her step into the zone. Still Lance flying around the goal. Goes down, picked up Severson. Tried a toe drag. Lost it, now she gets crunched against the near wall. And Gangarosa is the first one to it, out of the pile. Renee Gangarosa from Rochester. It's it deep, now Hayes for RPI. One-handed pass, Severson to Lance. Grigsby's onside here. It was close play at the blue line. Taken back by Rolfe, who fires it far side. Now back to the near side for Madsen. Brooke Madsen. Shot deflects over the cage. Grigsby, stick handling, went down. That one leaves the zone. It's going to be offside. It was touched by the skate of McMillan. 8:08 to play in the second period. It's 1-0 Penn State. We'll have our final officials timeout of the period, or will we have one more? And that's a question to be answered later on.
Say fans, are you hungry? Download the Melio app tonight. Tap, order, sit back, and relax. Place your order at Melio.com or on your Melio app with promo code RPI and receive $5 off your first order. Melio is proud to support and feed RPI.
Get dirty, come on down to Slide Dirty at 9 First Street in downtown Troy for some RPI game day specials, innovative sliders, tacos, and appetizers. Discounts available at Dallas 219 Game Day only. Receive one free slider with tickets to SlideDirty.com.
Weiss. Oroz. Turned back around. Nice move by Promersberger. She's taken down by Hansen and doesn't agree with the call here. Will be a trip. And a power play for Penn State, their first of the game. They were 2 for 4 yesterday. Hansen has quite a bit to say about this call.
RPI penalty number 9, Josephine Hansen. 2 minutes for tripping.
But a big spot here for the Engineers to try and kill this one off and keep it a one-goal game.
Number 9, Josephine Hansen. 2 minutes for tripping at 12:02.
Burnett hooked a bit and goes down. Back to the point. Heminger across for Crow. Heising now trying to jam it in. Rebound put wide on the far side. Crow, a great chance there. Goes by the wayside. Now a cross-ice feed from Heising. Eventually gets to his intended target, Crow, but it's partially broken up. I guess Grigsby got her stick on it. Now behind the goal, Hayes steals it away. Trying to clear it off the glass. Rapace, second effort, gets the job done. Approaching 7 minutes to go in the second, halfway through this Penn State power play. Only goal so far belongs to Sophie Slattery, sophomore from Edina. Former teammate of Engineers freshman Aaliyah Lance. Lance on that state championship team. Shot coming, saved by Solander. There's a quick shot and a save by Solander on the blocker. Edina was 2018 and 19, or excuse me, 17 and 18 AA champs in Minnesota high school hockey. I feel like there's enough Minnesotans on the ice today to warrant a comment there. That one to the side of the net, gloved by Solander, and she holds on.
Officials, time out. St. Anne's gatherers granola, hand stirred and baked in small batches in Schenectady, New York. Founded by an RPI alum based on his mom's recipe. Gatherers, granola for people with taste buds.
Face-off coming up in the RPI zone. 5:28 to go in the second period. Before I get yelled at, Kate Ridland was also a state champion for Eden Prairie back in 15-16. Good pass, Oros. Trying to walk her way in. She was tied up. Rebound, Oros scores! We're tied at 1. Blake Oros would not be denied. Picked up the rebound and stuck it home. Past Brenneman. You have to imagine that's how the Engineers were going to get one today. Jenna Brenneman has been superb this weekend. It was going to be a second chance effort, and that's what it was there. Oros picks up goal number 3 on the year. Make it 4 for Blake Oros, the junior from Chase Mills, New York. One game. Now Dobson jumping into the play. New life here for RPI. And now Grigsby's going to pick this one up and try and skate with it. 1-on-1 with Crow. She'll shoot it in from center, sticked away by Brenneman. Crow on the move. Shoots it in. This will wrap around behind the cage. Delaney Weiss, freshman for RPI out of Lake Forest, Illinois. And out into the zone is Capel. Somehow gets that shot off. And then taking exception there was Abby Welsh. She's acted as Brenneman's personal protector in the series. Seems like any time an Engineer gets near the junior netminder.
First RPI goal tonight is brought to you by Duncan.
Has something to say about it.
The RPI goal, her 4th goal of the season, scored by number 10, Blake Oros. assisted by number 7, Sabrina Rapace, and number 9, Josephine Hansen. Time of the goal, 14 minutes, 45 seconds. RPI goal, her 4th of the season, scored by number 10, Blake Moros, assisted by number 7, Sabrina Rapace, and number 9, Josephine Hansen, at 14:45.
That one in on Solander, and she holds on to it there. Easy stop on the try by Adolfson. Here's Hansen. Ferroli. Oros lifting it off the wall. Gangarosa. And now a shot coming by Heising, and his shoulder stopped by Solander. Oros trying to flip it around the defender, trying to get there. Loose puck and poked at. Rebound. And it finally goes behind the cage. Gangarosa across off the skate of Heising. Is this going to be icing? Yes, it is. We'll send this faceoff down ice. 2:30 to go in the second period. Right off the draw, shot goes wide. Severson. Pinching in Ferroli. Shot comes from Severson that goes wide. Now Capel. Back to the point. Hansen on her backhand does a nice job to keep it alive. Capel and then Heminger going to the end wall. And it'll be Crow to come away with it. Shot in by the Nittany Lions, picked up by Ferroli. Shot coming and a glove stop there by Wraithby, and then throwing a little jab there. Getting a little testy in front of Brannaman. Always good to see a little bit of motion there. Obviously don't want to see it get out of hand, but a little bit of fight is good for you. Jessica Adolfson, freshman from Linköping, Sweden. A couple of Swedes here today, including Solander, just got back from playing for the Swedish national team at the Four Nations Cup in Saskatchewan. The one game she did play in
1 minute remaining in the second period.
happened to be against Canada, and the Canadians won 6-1. Slander did make 45 saves. There's a right pad stop there on the shot by McMillan. Minute to go, 49 now in the second period. Schwalbe trying to dig it out of the corner. Shot hit a shin pad, picked up 2-on-2 for Grigsby, but then Fries Hansen goes off. Grigsby will shoot it in and chase herself Whacks it back around the wall to Rapace. Ferroli, no, didn't get to her. Now behind the net, trying to turn with it is Welsh. Shot near side, bottled up by Grigsby. Her center ice feed is stolen away. And now Rolfe. High off the glass. Glove down by Hansen. Flips it along. She goes down. It's corralled by Slattery. 3 to go in the period. Slattery in. A save. Rebound. Another chance there, and Solander's going to gobble that one up. A chance right before the period ends. One, 1-1, excuse me, RPI in Penn State. Blake Oros has come back to tie things up here in this second period. We'll be back with the third in just a bit on RPI TV.
Shots on goal in the second period for Penn State, 14, a two-period total of 25. For Rensselaer, 11, two-period total of 15. Okay, folks, at this time we'd like to invite you to come down closer to the boards to compete in the Slide and Derby Chuck-a-Puck competition. The person whose puck lands closest to center ice will be the winner. So we'll count it down for you, folks. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chuck your pucks. No clear-cut favorites yet.
We get set for the third period here, RPI and Penn State on RPI TV. Second game of this weekend series. Penn State winning yesterday 4-0. Engineers picking up their first goal of the weekend. Blake Oros tying things up at 14:45 of the second. 20 minutes on the clock. We need that. We also need a puck. We have that as well. And we are underway in the third. Penn State skating from left to right, RPI right to left. And it's the Nittany Lions who have it in their own zone. Renee Gangarosa plays it behind for Kelsey Crow, senior captain from Minnetonka, Minnesota. And Henson takes a stick up high in the back of her head. Has to adjust her cage. Be remiss if I didn't point out Kelsey Crow, also a two-time state champion in AA girls hockey in Minnesota for Minnetonka. She was a teammate, a defensive partner, in fact, of Hannah Mahonic, who won the state title 3 times for Minnetonka. And the Skippers. Pick to center. Off for Rapace. Rapace fanned on the shot, and it's turned around by Slattery. She has the lone Penn State goal. Mayer. Her shot blocked. As the Engineers head back the other direction. All the way through. Mayer. Here's Crow. Scored her first goal of the year yesterday, her 10th of her career. Good outlet pass, finding Madsen. All the way in deep. Krommersberger left it in the corner, nobody there. Severson for RPI, a couple of spins, pokes it up the boards. And a good little touch pass there from Lance. Severson in. Toe drag, trying to walk her way in. Lance couldn't get on the end of that one. It's poked at by Weiss to keep it alive. Now Aaliyah Lance. Doing battle there with McMillan. Another former skipper. Now up the far side. Stick handling is Madsen. She'll bound one in. Knocked away by Solander. Now Ferroli for RPI. Shot behind the goal by Fiddler. And now through center. Corralled by Heminger. She'll just shoot it back in. Three on two for RPI. Passed a little bit out in front of Schwalbe, but she will track it down behind the goal. Schwalbe around with it. Fiddler gets there, pokes it past Hayes, but the feed looking for Nelson. Doesn't connect, and RPI shoots it right back in. Gangarosa for Penn State. Tried to stop with the puck, lost it to Schwalbe. Schwalbe in the corner. She's pinned up there by Welsh. Finds Grigsby, drop pass, Oros, a shot, and that's blocked. And out comes Mayer with it. Poke check by Hansen forces Mayer back to her own zone. It'll be gathered up again by Heminger. Out of Dublin, Ohio, played for the Ohio AAA Blue Jackets. Heminger with a goal and 2 assists yesterday. She had just 2 points coming into the weekend, a goal and an assist, but had a big night yesterday. Burnett flips one wide. Looking for a redirect that didn't come. Chopped to center, picked up by Weiss. Engineers playing with a lot more confidence since they tied this game. Really, even a bit before that, they were showing signs of breaking through. This one hits the glove of Weiss. Now Wraithby. Pass to center, stolen away by McMillan. Crow goes D to D along the blue line for Adolphson. Weiss for Burnett, has to go get it. Fed down the middle of the ice. Crow picks it off there. Madsen swatted away by Weiss again. Partial change for Penn State. Just onto the ice is Ridland. And this is going to be icing here on the Nittany Lions.
Foundation has partnered with RPI Athletics, bringing local schools in Troy to shoot for the stars.
We're about 5 minutes into the third, excuse me. No chances so far in this period.
Support of our local youth and communities.
RPI skating with a full complement, or at least the line chart says that. 19 skaters allowed in NCAA ice hockey this year. One more than the standard 18 of years past. Grigsby stick handling out of the zone. Oros has to touch up. And allows Penn State to regather. Crow across, finding Kate Ridland. There's a tie-up, and a couple players are spilled in the circle. Hansen fighting to just get the puck out of the zone and finds Grigsby, senior from Whitby, Ontario. Grigsby trying to make a move around Heminger. Stood up there. And now Heising with speed, trying to find Fiddler into the zone. And it's gathered in here. Capel forces it into the Nittany Lions end. Good tie-up, Bangarosa. And Lance. Fiddler plays it back. Gangarosa. Back to Fiddler. Shot near side. Behind Promersberger. RPI is able to get it back in. Gangarosa there, met by Capel. Try the near corner. Fries Hansen. Can't keep it alive in the corner. Heminger forces it to center ice and finds Mayer. Micah Mayer into the RPI zone. A couple of engineers needed to pry the puck off her stick, but now it's Weiss. Through Wraithby, picked up by Rolf, who fires it back in. Weiss again. A little bit of pressure comes on the forecheck, but Schwalbe, cool under pressure, is able to feed it over to Hansen, who moves it out to center. Spun back in by Welsh, and Solander does a little dance behind the goal to stay on her feet. And now Weiss, got some help there, caught her skate there, or else nearly a defensive zone turnover there for the Engineers. But now they do break in one-on-one. Madsen on Hansen. Madsen stopping at the hash marks along the wall, spins away from Hansen. Down low, centering pass, that was McLeod, loose in front, and the shot never got to goal. Picked up by Weiss there. Grigsby has it hop off her stick, kept in by Crow just barely, as it's wrapped around. Weiss and Grigsby dig for it with Madsen. Finally cleared, but not out of the zone. Crow looking for the redirect, gets it from McMillan, and it goes just wide. And now another shot there by McLeod is blocked. 8 minutes into the third period. The few times that these teams have gotten the puck in dangerous areas, they have not been able to get shots on goal. Not a block tries. That was a wraparound, and that one's going to be a shot there for Nelson, but Solander covers up.
Officials, timeout.
And we get a stoppage in play. Shots are 27-15 Penn State. shot attempts 40-29. Nittany Lions will take a quick break and be back with more of the third period. It's 1-1 RPI and Penn State from the Houston Fieldhouse here on RPI TV.
While we have a minute here, folks, we'd like to remind you that the RPI women's hockey team will be back in action here at the Houston Fieldhouse on Friday, December 7th, when they host Princeton University at 6 p.m. So come on out to the Houston Fieldhouse and support your RPI women's hockey team. RPI women versus Princeton, Friday, December 7th, 6 p.m.
Face off here, kept in. Heminger, wrister redirected. It was played with a high stick, so it would not have counted, but it was still a good look for the Nittany Lions. That one tipped and hits the top of the net. It was a pretty play, but as I mentioned, referee outside the zone and a high stick call in the waiting if it touched a, well, first of all, if it went in, and second of all, if it touched a Nittany Lion next, whistle would have been blown. RPI would have got the next touch on it. Now Slattery moving in, and that one hit a skate and goes wide. Whatever momentum RPI had early in this period has gone the other way as it's slammed over the top by Welsh. Penn State has their foot on the gas now. Moving in, Grigsby trying to make a move, and eventually does around Rolfe, but Penn State gets the last lap there as Welsh comes away with it. Stick handling dangerously to the side of her cage, but does find Mayer trying to work around Ferroli. Pulls it back, quick shot, goes wide from Welsh. A heavy drive there, missed the cage, and now a turnover. Mayer in, slot, shot off the post. Oh, so close there to giving the Nittany Lions the lead back. But a clean pipe find for Mayer. Under 10 to go in the third. And a collision there in the Nittany Lions zone. RPI gets a change going, and they have the puck. Weiss tried to sweep it in, get some help from Fries Hansen, and now it's played near side, broken up by Wraithby. Fries Hansen again. She'll turn back towards her own end. Just work it up the wall. Wraithby trying to find it in her skates. She's wrapped up. Touch pass there from Fiddler. On for Nelson. Nelson walking in. Backdoor feed trying to find McMillan. That doesn't come off there. And spilled behind the goal as Nelson lost her stick in the process. Goes back to get it. To the point, Heminger. That's blocked out of the zone. And changing are the Nittany Lions. Just off the bench is Heising. Heising, a shot. Flutters wide. May have been blocked by Weiss there. Either way, it's kept in at the blue line. Kicked at by Weiss. Played near side past everybody. This should be icing on the Engineers as it has the legs. 8:46 to go. Pace of this game has certainly picked up here in this third period. Chances at both ends, but it's been Penn State looking the most dangerous team to take the lead here. Sophie Slattery, the lone goal scorer for the Nittany Lions, 7:22 of the first, and then Blake Orr was at 14:45 of the second, her fourth of the season. Slattery netting her second. Weiss with a good breakup at center, but forced in deep anyway by Slattery. Burnett left in the corner. Lance beaten to it by Slattery, but lifts the stick, and now out comes Severson with Capel breaking. Some room on the near side. Burnett's going to join the play. Madeline Burnett centering pass, and it was broken up. Good stick by Ridland. Out of the corner now, Severson walking her way in. A backhand shot off the side of the cage. Now the Nittany Lions break to center ice. Ridland finds Mayer, shoots it in. Tip down ice. They wave off the icing here. Adolphson watched by Oroz, who finds the near wall. Right back behind the goal it goes. Chip deep by Grigsby. Oroz off her skate. Back to Grigsby, but Rolf's going to beat everybody to it and work it up the boards. Amanda McLeod given away. Engineers touch up. Nifty play there by Oroz. Step back onside and receive the pass all in one motion, but goes for naught as the Nittany Lions move it back the other way. Behind the goal, McLeod. Surveying, looking for a pass. Eventually finds a open Madsen there, but shot went wide. He'll carry him all the way around. Heminger. Oh, as Hayes got upended there. Her skate got dangerously close to the head of Heising, but luckily nothing happens there. Shot blocked by Rapace. And now Fries Hansen. Rapace back for Hayes. Hayes shielding, gave it away to Heising. Heising a shot and a stick save by Solander. RPI dodges a bullet there. You don't want to give the puck to Natalie Heising in that situation, and Solander, the veteran, will cover here and get a whistle. 6:08 to go in the third. We're going to get a stoppage and an official timeout. 1-1 RPI and Penn State, getting down to the final few minutes of this one in a 1-1 game.
Say Vans, award-winning chili, fall off the bone ribs, hand-cut steaks, and 10% off with your RPI staff or student ID. Legendary deals like this can only be found in Texas Roadhouse, located at 105 Wolf Road, Colony. Come dine with us.
Face-off, shot wide by Welsh. Around behind the goal it goes, picked up by Slattery. To the point, Heminger, blocked by the shin pad of Grigsby, but keeps it in the zone. Up the wall for Slattery, trying to play it back to Heminger. Poked at by Grigsby, and Grigsby tried to break, hoping someone would find her. Rapace gets it to the line, poked into the zone. Rapace and Gangaroso tie up in the corner. Oro's there, lifting it towards the point. Nice little backhand saucer pass for Weiss, looking for the redirection. Severson, another try by Severson, pops free to Burnett. Burnett's shot pops high in the air off a leg, into the netting, and we get a stoppage here. Face off in the Penn State zone. And we're gonna have, I don't think we have another stoppage left. We need a new puck though. Well, we do have another stoppage here. See, the biggest problem I have with these back-to-back stoppages, if you don't get your 10-minute stoppage until, what, 6 and change, and then you have your 6-minute stoppage at 5:23, it's back-to-back minute breaks for nothing. Really kills the flow of the game. Anyway. Oro's a wrist shot. That's gloved by Brenneman. McMillan and Rapace in on the draw. 5:19 to go in a 1-1 game. RPI trying to salvage the weekend split here. But it's the Nittany Lions that move it to center. Madsen lost it, stick handling in front of Ferroli. This one will hop into the bench. We get a stoppage in play. Second-year head coach Brian Vines leading these Engineers. 13 wins in his career now. 13, 25, and 8 in his second season, assisted by Tara Connolly, who's back for her second year. Mark Cavosi, first year on the women's side as a full-time assistant. He was volunteer assistant last year. He's also number of years as a volunteer assistant on the men's side. Of course, former men's hockey player here for the Engineers for 3 seasons. He was an NHL draft choice of the Minnesota Wild. Got as high as AHL, played for the Houston Aeros a couple of years. Good to see Cavosi helping out with the RPI offensively. And he's hoping for more in that department, especially here today. If the Engineers can get another one here and win this game. Here's Nelson. Drop pass, some room, walking in, a shot. Save made by Solander. And it turned into a 3-on-2. The trailing player was Fiddler. But Solander with another big stop. And Lavisa did not seem to be herself yesterday. She's back to making big-time saves here this afternoon, including a shorthanded breakaway when this game was 1-0. And that one leaves the zone, and we're going to get an offside here as Adolphson couldn't keep it in. Far side keep. Tie up in the corner. Pass Mayer to center ice. Weiss shoots it off of Mayer, and this one will hop back into the zone. Rolfe on it there. Morgan Rolfe, sophomore from Mitchell, Ontario. Back out to center, shot back in by Ferroli. Rolfe back to get it again. 3:13 left. Off of Adolphson, kicked at and missed, picked up Grigsby. Grigsby wraparound, shooting off the post. Kept alive by Ferroli, her wrist shot is blocked down. Both teams have hit the pipe here, although that one might have hit the outside of the post. Now Adolphson trying to move it out. Gets it back from Mayer and then shoots it up the wall. In the air, now given away. Madsen has to touch up, McMillan shoots in. Solander back to stop it and does. Burnett leaves it behind the goal for Ferroli. Burnett, nice connection to Capel. Capel will chip it deep and go after it. 1-on-2. McMillan, the first one to it. Katie McMillan. Pass intercepted by Lance. Chip back into the zone. It's one of the. Madsen got dumped at the blue line. Crow. Gangarosa, and they're offside at the line. Madsen does not agree. Shots are now 30-16 Penn State. Dumped in by the Engineers. Walking in, Fiddler. Lost it on the far side. Picks it up on the near side. Jam try. Loose puck. Shot and a save by Solander. Point blank save on that one there. Had the wraparound attempt to deal with on the near post, and then the tight range shot on the other side. Close range shot. Fries Hansen dumps it in.
1 minute remaining.
Off the stick of Hayes. She'll have to go back and get it. 1 minute left in regulation. Nice pass by Slattery. Couple of jam tries from Mayer, no. And now Slattery again. Broken up nicely by Hayes this time. Lobbed in the air. Glove down. Moving in, Rolf, a slap shot and a save. Rebound loose, Rolf, no. And it's cleared to the wall. 26 to go. Penn State continuing to pepper this RPI net in the period, up to 35 shots. Backhanded to the side of the cage, picked up Madsen. Madsen turning and shooting, hit his skate. Still loose there, another pad stop there by Solander. And she'll cover up a 36th save of this contest for Lavisa Solander. .6 remaining in regulation. If we're still tied, we'll have 5 minutes of sudden death overtime. Not a lot of penalties in this game. 1 on the Engineers, 2 against Penn State, although they came basically simultaneously. There's a shot off the draw, and Solander has to hold on to that one. Then Madsen went sliding into her looking for a rebound. Wasn't there. Shots are piling up in the direction of Lavisa Solander. And that'll do it for regulation time. 1-1 as we go to OT. You're watching RPI Women's Hockey on RPI TV.
Overtime period. Shots on goal, third period. For Penn State, 3-period total of 36. For RPI 1, 3-period total of 16.
Overtime here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Kelsey Crow. And now here's Heising. Navigating her way in. Good poke check by Weiss. On for Oros. Letting it run. Now she picks it up. Engineers are offside. Grigsby stepped across the blue line before it got there. Kind of a slow developing play. Adolphson. Skips through. And now Burnett. Slattery. Active hands to the point. Shot blocked, hit a skate. Picked up by Lance, who gets it as far as center. This will come down in the corner. Welsh after it again. Burnett just barely there in front of her. Now Capel. Beaten to the play by Madsen. Hayes. Lance. Tipped along. Severson trying to get there. It's tied up with McLeod. And it pops free. Crow with Fries Hansen on her tail. Crow looked up without the puck, lost it. Now it's kept alive. Nice play by Fries Hansen. And picked up by McLeod. On for Madsen, who dumps it in. Hits the end wall behind the goal. McMillan turning. Cycling. Madsen, 3 to go in overtime. Weiss a poke check, another one. Comes free to the blue line, kept alive there. Eminger. Feeding it down low. A lot of heat on that pass, but it does find Madsen in the end. Now Crow at the point. Wrist shot deflects in the air, goes wide. Picked up by McLeod again. McLeod turning and shooting. It doesn't find the net. It's swatted at by Weiss. Schwalbe takes a look around. A lot of pressure comes in the form of Nelson. It's going to be lowly Fiddler in the corner now. Fiddler all the way to the point with it. And is forced out of the zone by Wraithby. And RPI changing. Shot coming, went wide. Hansen had to break that one up. Fiddler leaves it along the wall. Oros chips to center ice. Good pass there, Rapace. A little bit of speed. She's being tied up there as she moved in. Fed out of the zone. Hayes going to get there. 1:50 to go in overtime. Cross ice feed for Burnett. She just lifts it out to center. Shot back into the RPI zone. Looked like Rapace was impeded there. Maybe a hook. Doesn't look like they're going to call much here. Adolphson. Knocked out of the air by Grigsby. Good hand-eye coordination. They're onside. Grigsby, a wrister. That's blocked down. Schwalbe centering, trying to find Lance. No. Now a shot by Hayes. Ramps up a stick and goes high. Behind the goal, Adolphson. Hopefully a flurry here to end this overtime. Drop pass. Shot coming wide of the goal by Slattery. Now Lance with speed.
1 minute.
One hand attempt there. Severson couldn't corral it. Heminger across. Slattery up the boards trying to find Fiddler. Doesn't connect. There's icing on the Nittany Lions. 47.5 to go. A lot of back and forth here in OT, but no shots on goal. Still 36-16. And Penn State's going to use its timeout here. 47.5 seconds remaining. 47.5 to go in OT. Draw coming up. Here we go. Engineers win it cleanly. Oros. Hard pass, Burnett just keeps it alive. Rapace down low. Grigsby throws it behind the cage, gonna pop out. Lifted along, Hansen trying to get there. Nelson's gonna beat her to it. Coming over is Burnett, nice play there. Nelson goes down, RPI looks to move it out to center ice. Bouncing there, Grigsby, she'll carry it in. 22 to go, wrist shot blocked by a shin pad. Picked up by Oros now. Rapace tried to center, was broken up. Second try, intercepted by Heising. And now it's going to be shot down ice with 7. This is going to be icing if the Engineers can get there. And need a whistle, 2.5 remaining. Climb RPI here, maybe pull Solander. It's going to be tough to win a draw and shoot it all the way down the ice in 2 seconds. Accurately. Not going to risk it. Just as well. RPI is going to call timeout, though. Why not? Just draw something up here. Plenty of time to get a shot away for RPI.
Timeout, Rensselaer.
And the shot goes wide off the draw, and that'll do for this one. 1-1 is the final. Penn State now 5-7-2 on the season. The Engineers 4-6-3. RPI heads to New Hampshire for 2 next weekend after the Thanksgiving break. Nice comeback for RPI to tie this one up. And Penn State did all they could to try and snap the tie late in that third period. Engineers held strong. Lavisa Solander with a great bounce-back game. Finished with 35 saves in the contest. That'll do it for us here at RPI TV. I want to thank you for watching today's game. Your final score was RPI 1 and Penn State 1. This has been live coverage of Engineers hockey on RPI TV.